Well, hey, it's a new era. Maybe that's what it is. It's a new era.
New era.
We
It's
have
a new
crossed
day.
100,000 subscribers. Thank you, everybody in the audience, for making
It's a
this
long
happen.
way to the
Yes,
top if you want to rock and roll.
that's right. Thank you very, very much, everybody, for helping us get here. Everybody in the audience is the YouTubers, the Rumblers, the patrons. Obviously, you guys are the backbone of the show. We could not have gotten anywhere without you, and to all of our peers in the space who helped us along the way. Obviously, Jimmy Dore and the whole team at the Jimmy Dore Show, our post-duopoly brothers there, Hardlands Media,
RBN,
RBN. Yep,
RBN really put us on when we had very small audience.
yep.
They really did a lot to boost our signal. So yes, much love to them. And I've told this story before, man. During the dark days of the pandemic, a friend of mine said to me, because we had already started doing the podcast, but it was a little thing. They said, "Well, what do you want to do?" I said, man, there's these guys, the Fred Hampton leftists. I would love to do stuff with them. That was before they even changed their names. So,
Right.
man, living the dream.
Living the dream, absolutely. And now we get into dangerous territory where I'm liable to forget people. But obviously, Pasta was a huge help early on. Misty
Yep.
Winston, obviously, who's now part of the network. Generational Change picked us out of a crowd and started putting us on. So,
Yep.
now, like I said, now
And,
it gets really dangerous because you don't want to forget somebody. But you
well,
know who you are.
I also want to thank Matt Taibbi. He came on when we had like 10,000 subscribers.
Yep. Aaron
Uh,
Mate. We
Aaron
had like
Mate came on
2,000.
when we
Yeah.
were really small.
Yeah.
Matt shared out one of our articles. Like he's been really, really great to us. Yeah. Aaron came on very early. I think it would be really shitty of us not to thank the Vanguard because this is our origin story
Yeah.
in terms of this incarnation because we started doing the blog and the show. I just saw it as an extension of the activism I was already doing. I didn't really think of it as something we were going to do full time. And Keaton calls me up one day. He says, "Hey, there's these guys, the Vanguard. They did this terrible interview with Aaron Mate. We should do it." And so I had never Keaton it pays more attention to the space than I
I was
do.
a
So
huge fan at the time.
he was a huge fan. I had never said well because you were really into the Mackenzie brothers,
Yeah,
so it was
right. Yeah,
kind of like a
exactly. Yeah.
natural carryover from that.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of him, man. And so I watched the video and I called Keaton back. I said, "These guys have an audience?" He
Yeah.
said, "Yeah." I said, "We're going about this all wrong, man. Fuck Facebook. We got to go on YouTube. We got to have a YouTube show." And the rest is history. So, that happened to me once with that's how I ended up owning theaters, man. I rented a theater from a guy who was completely incompetent but very successful. And I said, "Well, shit, why am I renting theaters? This guy can run a fucking theater. A monkey could run a theater at that point." So I said, we're definitely awful enough to get ahead in this space if those guys are.
Yeah.
And we proved it.
Yes. So thank you all for all of your support along the way. It's been a real ride. And ironically, the Vanguard guys are at 100K now too. They actually beat us there.
They beat us there.
Yeah,
They
they were
did.
able to.
It's been like
Yeah. Well, they were able to really capitalize on the collapse of of the Young Turks. So hey, good for them. Everybody's got to eat,
the
right?
Young
Whatever.
Turks loss was
Yeah.
their game. Yeah, we want everyone to be happy. We want everyone to do well. Like that, like we don't.
We want everyone to do very well.
We want everyone to do very well. In the end, we're all friends here.
Yeah, we think of the Vanguard the way Trump thinks of Iran. We want them to do very well. We want
them to do well. We want them to do well. Maybe we could collaborate.
Yeah, they're the ayatollahs of the space.
We'll have like a left mafia spin-off show.
But yeah.
So yeah, are we forgetting about it? I'm like, Shama.
Obviously, yeah. Work to strike back. Yeah.
And you know who I actually want to thank? That'll be a little controversial. Rage Against the War Machine.
Oh yeah, that's controversial. That's going to be the talk of Twitter today.
Yeah,
Russell Dobular thanks Angela McCardle.
No, and Nick, it was Nick who really put us in. What's
Oh,
that
Nick
cat's
Brana
name?
too. Yeah.
Yeah, Nick Brana. I forgot his last name. Yeah, Brana actually gave us the slot.
You know, when me and Richie started the show, we were just interviewing like local Hudson Valley activists. Like I said, the project just kind of started as an extension of what we were already doing, which
Right,
is talking
exactly,
shit, talking
exactly.
politics, doing a little activism here and there. So we just kind of created the podcast as an extension of that on my friend's advice. My friend told me, you know, you talk about politics on the phone a lot. Why don't you just record yourself talking about it and put it out as a podcast? What's the worst that can happen? I said, yeah, the worst that can happen is no one listens. In fact, no one listening is probably the best that can happen in the long run. But we were
Yeah.
not so lucky. We were not so
We're
lucky.
not so lucky.
And people
Oh
started
yeah,
listening.
and on a personal note, I want to thank James. He used to come on a little bit. My
Oh,
friend
yeah,
James.
Nagy, yeah.
He,
Yeah.
he actually he was the first person who said to me the show's good. Like
Right.
it never occurred to me it was good. I just thought, we're having fun and whatever. And yeah, like you said, like talking shit. And I would be remiss if I did not thank my friend Tiffany, who in the darkest times of COVID took me into her house for like 3 months, literally 3 months. And she was the one who asked me that question, what I wanted to do. I said,
Right.
work with the Fred Hampton leftists. So she definitely she patched me up like a wounded bird, sent me back on my way. What's funny, we kind of have different politics, so I always kid around with her. You probably regret now
Right.
helping me.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Careful what you
hey
wish for.
man,
She was like Bill Clinton encouraging Donald Trump to run for president. It kind
exactly.
of blew up in her
You
face.
took the snake across the river.
Yes. And I also have to thank my wonderful family for being very patient with me, for letting me spend hours and hours and hours and hours on this when it paid nothing. And, trusting that it would eventually work out. And so I'm glad that it did for the time being. Knock on wood. Take nothing for granted in this world. So thank you all very much.
Yeah, one last, my man Vinny.
Yeah.
Sadly, I think he's the only friend of mine who's a patron. What does that say?
Right. Oh boy.
When I put up on my Facebook, which I basically limit to social connections for the most part, when I put up the 100,000,
Right.
it's like almost everyone who gave it a thumbs up are like people who are on my page from the show and
Right.
people I've known forever. I could almost feel them seething
Right. Right.
because
Yeah.
that page is mostly made up of people I know from theater who are very MSNBC libs who are much discomfited that I'm putting out this kind of message.
There you go. There you go. We got some great super chats in here. I got one from Rumble that came in before the show. Oh, there it is. Yes. Because we do want to keep things in perspective here. So Nocturnal Human says 26.8K on Rumble. You YouTubers get over here and follow too, even if you don't watch here. Yes, that's very important. That's very
Yep.
important. One of the things that makes
True
it
story.
a little bittersweet is that this is still a censorious platform. So, we're very grateful for YouTube for giving us the platform, but at the same time, it's a double-edged sword because this is still a censorious platform. And so we want to also, ironically, thank Rumble for helping us grow this platform. It's kind of weird to thank Rumble for hitting a milestone on YouTube, but I wouldn't consider the show worth doing if we didn't have a free speech place to stream, not just as a failsafe, but as a location for us to do content that we can't do here. That helped us grow tremendously and helped us feel secure in building the project out. Because if we didn't have Rumble, I would feel much more comfortable just continuing to write articles on Substack. Like the whole
Right.
streaming and
Yeah.
clipping thing only makes sense if you have a home base that's not going to turn you off for arbitrary reasons. So yes, please do go follow us on Rumble. That's hugely important. Thank you, Nocturnal Human.
And I guess I can reveal this now.
Yeah.
We were just awarded a Theo Bucks grant.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
so we are in like Flynn at Rumble.
Please clap.